There's an infamous video of Graham Souness not very happy one time, and it sort of studs into the thigh. If you haven't seen it, that's pretty much what Jankovic has done at Old Trafford. What's he thinking, Danny?
I'm speechless. It's on his debut. Okay, he's excited. He's trying to go. He catches him on the inside of the thigh. I mean, what is he thinking? It's the most ridiculous challenge. He's nowhere near the ball, way over the top, and he just rakes his studs down the inside of Scott McTominay's thigh. It's a ludicrous challenge.
Scott McTominay is very angry here because he's being treated by one of the doctors, medical staff of Manchester United, but there are a few choice words over to the touchline. He's got stud marks down the inside of his thigh. It's clear there was force in the challenge as well.
Normally as a pundit, you're here to try and explain why, or why has he gone into that? And most of the time, you can explain why a defender's made a bad challenge, or there's been a mistake, or whatever it might be. I've got no idea with that. I've just got no idea what he was thinking at that point. I mean, it's a tackle that's in the middle of the pitch. It's not a last-ditch tackle. It's not even...
There's 90 seconds gone. I mean...
But sometimes,
even if it was a last-ditch tackle, you think you might leave it after with 90 seconds on the clock.
You want to stamp your authority on the game at times, but, I mean, he's nowhere near the ball. It's not like he's taken the ball and followed through and taken the player out. Absolutely ridiculous. Ralph Hasenhüttl will be furious. Might make him walk home.
You ever been sent off that early in a game?
No.
90 seconds?
No.
Never?
3 Premier League red cards, me, that's all.
That one for me, out of all the ones I've seen in the Premier League, not to even exaggerate, I can't believe that was offside. I mean, you just watched it, they drew the lines, they looked perfectly in line.
I think sometimes those lines are unbelievably confusing, because when the lines have been drawn there, I'm going, he's onside. Because somebody, you can see his knee, which is, I think, the furthest point forward. You can see somebody's foot behind that. And from the initial lines that were drawn, he looks onside. And I went, and then it sort of flashed up for a second, didn't it, on the monitor?
Yeah,
offside, I went, that's got to be a mistake.
Yeah.
And then they sort of went back and redrew the lines. It must be a mistake. He's onside. It has to be. And this is the problem. I think if you took the lines away and you didn't show that, and Stockley Park just do their thing, it takes away a lot of the debate at times, because those lines, you then have to accept they've done their job. It's either offside or it's onside. We don't need to see the lines. Simple as that. Why do we need to see them? It just causes more debate, more confusion. I was talking to Dermot Gallagher today, and I think he's got a great idea. You just go with the foot. Predominant 99 times out of 100. The foot is on the ground. Yeah, because
diving header.
Well, it doesn't matter. How many diving headers do you see scored?
Yeah, but if there's a diving header,
well, it doesn't matter.
And it's what do you mean? It doesn't matter because if a player's 4 foot offside, but he's dived for a header, that's fine for you.
Yeah, just as it would be at 100 metres. Whereas if you threw your legs forward, it doesn't matter because it's your chest that crosses the line. If that's the rule, that's the rule. The foot is 99 times out of 100. The foot is on the ground, and from that point, you can draw a much better line, and you can have a much better understanding. Most forwards, when they go to score, are leaning forward because obviously momentum is going that way. I think just cleaning that up and just going, okay, it's the foot, and then because it's a definitive line. You're not talking about a sleeve. Where does the sleeve end? Does it come down your arm? Does it go up your arm? Is it your arm? Whatever it is, I just think that's a much simpler way of looking at it. I mean, absolute disgrace. The officials. Absolutely, I don't believe it, because he sent Mike Dean to the monitor because he can't make his own mind up. The monitor then doesn't work, so he decides to give a penalty and send him off when Mike Dean's not seen it. I mean, that has to be overturned. That's an appalling decision. It's not a penalty. It's not a red card. It's a dive. He's already going down. I don't think anybody in football would disagree with that. It's an absolute shocking decision, and VAR, the officials have just messed it up big time.
That is probably the worst use of VAR in the history of the Premier League since it's come in, because it just wasn't working properly. To give a red card, to send a player off, to give a penalty for that. I mean, it's a dive, and Bednarek was saying, Martial is saying it wasn't a foul, and Mike Dean's ignored him and sent him off the pitch. It's disgraceful.